Greetings from Morocco. Today I'm going to share my experience using Holafly eSIMs while traveling. The idea of international eSIMs is to make it dead simple to get local data plans on your phone wherever you're traveling in the world. You literally just scan a QR code and you instantly have data, and you can have it set up so you have data the second you land in your destination. It's a genius idea in theory, but today we're going to test if it actually works in practice. There are several other companies in this space, but most of them have pretty sucky reviews from users. Holafly is an up-and-coming company, and I've been testing out their services for months now in 3 different countries. In this Holafly review, I'll share my personal experience, including both the good and the bad. Then, to put it to the ultimate test, I'm going to climb some ginormous dunes in the Sahara to see if I have data way out in the desert. Sometimes buying a local SIM is easy, but other times it can be a complete headache. If they don't sell SIMs in the airport on arrival, or if you're arriving through a land border, you're always going to have a gap in coverage until you can go hunt down a SIM card. You may spend an hour walking around town trying to get one set up, or paying for transportation to go to a store to get it, or you may even end up getting scammed. Then of course there's also the language barrier when setting up your SIM and recharging your data plan, and the need to constantly switch SIMs in and out of your phone all the time. And in some countries, they won't sell you a SIM at all unless you have a local ID in that country. In contrast, here's how it works with Holafly. Step 1, go to their website and choose the country you're traveling to, and you can do this before you even leave home. I have a discount code for Project Untethered followers, so you can check that out in the description. Step 2, they'll send you a QR code to your email, and you can scan it the day before you leave on your trip, or you can wait until you arrive in the airport wherever you're going. Step 3, follow the instructions they send you to set it up in your phone. This takes about 30 seconds, and then bam, you have data. But ease of setup is just one part of the equation. More importantly, the data has to actually work when you're traveling. So far, I've used Holafly plans in the US, Spain, and Morocco, and it's worked like a charm everywhere I've went, even in some pretty remote places. I'm guessing this is because the eSIM automatically switches to different carriers based on which carrier has the best strength wherever you are. So instead of just getting one carrier like you would when you buy a physical SIM card, you get the best coverage of several different carriers. Now, I did notice that Google Maps seemed to load a little bit slower than what I'm used to it loading, and I have no idea if this has to do with the eSIM or not, or just the country's data or whatever, but that's something I did notice. That said, it always worked, and that is the important part. I did have one other hiccup though, and that was in Morocco. Tethering our data to our laptop worked perfectly in the US and in Spain, but as soon as we got to Morocco, for some reason we couldn't set up personal hotspots. I had their customer service look into it for me, and they were super apologetic, and they ended up saying that for right now, for some reason, the service providers in Morocco weren't allowing these hotspots. Now, our data worked perfectly on our phone itself, so it shouldn't be a huge deal for normal travelers. But if you're a digital nomad planning to use a data plan as your backup internet source for working, you'll have to find a different option if coming to Morocco. Other than that, I've been super impressed. Now that said, just because it works well does not mean it's for everyone. Before I get into who should skip it, make sure to subscribe for more of our best travel tips that we've picked up over the past 7 years of full-time travel. Okay, so I would not recommend this for backpackers traveling on a shoestring budget, trying to make their pennies last as long as humanly possible. It's almost always cheaper to buy a local physical SIM card once you arrive in your country. I say almost because one time we actually got scammed trying to buy a physical SIM card in Cambodia, and it ended up being more expensive, but that's a story for another day. But besides budget backpackers, the cost is well worth the time and hassle that it saves. Another huge advantage is if you have one physical SIM slot on your phone and another virtual one like you do on a lot of iPhones. Using these eSIMs allows you to keep your physical SIM from your home country in your phone, so you don't have to take it out, and you can still receive text messages and calls if you set up Wi-Fi calling on your home plan before leaving your country. At least that's how it works for me and the cheap plan that I have with US Mobile in the US. Doing this allows you to receive bank and other SMS verification codes while you're abroad, so you don't get locked out of your accounts while you're traveling. Okay, now for the Sahara Desert test you've all been waiting for. Let's go! Here we are, guys. Like this video if you appreciate my effort climbing into the dunes in the middle of a sandstorm. Now for the moment of truth. Sorry for the wind. 3 bars in the Sahara dunes. Not bad. Guys, we also have an entire full guide of all the best options to stay connected while you're traveling on our travel blog. I'll link to that below. And to learn all of our best hacks for traveling the world on the cheap, dive into this playlist next. See you guys. Bye.